Washington Governor Jay Inslee sounding the alarm tonight, declaring a statewide drought emergency. KXLY4 has been following the low snowpack situation through the winter and spring. Inslee says the state already feeling the impact of historic low levels. Rivers are at their lowest levels in more than half a century. Irrigation districts in the Yakima Basin are now turning the water off to farmers for weeks at a time in hopes of preserving the water supply. They even have tapped reservoirs 2 months ahead of time.
Walla Walla region water is being shifted from creek to keep water flowing to steelhead, chinook, and bull trout.
Well, the governor says that the snowpack at just 16% of normal right now may also contribute to an early wildfire season and fires burning at much higher elevations. Former Spokane Mayor Mary Verner, now with the Department of Natural Resources, says it will be all hands on deck.
We need citizens to be ready for this fire season. The Department of Natural Resources protects over 13 million acres of forest land across the state of Washington. But of course, we cannot protect people's homes and properties.
And Verner says the state is conducting outreach programs now to help people understand how to build green, defensible space around their homes. It is estimated that Washington will lose $1.2 billion in crops this year because of the water shortage. KXLY4's Jeff Humphrey joins us now live near the Spokane-Lincoln County line with a look at how the drought could affect the area's wheat crops. And Jeff, farmers, they're now turning to technology to conserve what little soil moisture that they have.
Yes, ma'am, Nadine. This is Jeff Siegel's custom-made no-till drill. It uses air pressure to plant and fertilize wheat seed without tearing up the soil and exposing it to evaporation. However, even this very environmentally friendly way of getting seed in the ground may not be enough to spare Jeff's wheat crop from the drought. Here in eastern Washington, farmers hedge their bet against unpredictable weather conditions by planting 2 different wheat crops at 2 different times of the year. This winter wheat came up last fall and now has a head start on the growing season.
It's looking really well right now, but it's starting to show stress because of the lack of moisture that we've had this spring, as well as no snow cover during the wintertime.
As a backup crop, Siegel also planted spring wheat with his no-till drill that's just beginning to sprout, but right now he's more concerned about his winter wheat. Without more rain, these stems will start wasting energy looking for water that's just not in the soil.
The roots will try to go down to seek that moisture, and when there is none, it just starts withering, and then it prematurely dries from the ground up.
And in a business where farmers make their money by the bushel, dry wheat kernels don't tip the scales in the farmer's favor.
And if those seeds aren't matured enough, they will be shriveled and light, and they will actually blow out the combine. So it's a twofold thing.
Farmers are not prone to panic, and Siegel says a few well-placed thunderstorms could really help both his crops, but most of his land is planted in winter wheat, and right now is the go time for seed production.
Because it's, a foot high, it's lush, green, growing very vigorously, and we desperately need the rain right now for the winter wheat.
And so, Nadine, that is the downside of being a dryland farmer. Mr. Siegel has no way to irrigate his crop or control the weather, and so he is now using his no-till drill to manage his soil and his soil moisture as best he can.
A tough situation, Jeff. So if we don't get any more rain and Siegel's crops fail, is there anything he can do?
Well, he does have federal crop insurance, but that insurance only covers the amount of money he spent getting his stuff into the ground. It does not pay him a profit. Wheat did pretty well in Washington last year. We had $1 billion harvest, so there's some insulation there. What would really hurt Jeff's family is if next year is as dry as this one. Reporting live in Reardon, Jeff Humphrey, KXLY4.